Like I said at the end of part 1, we're going to start bouncing around a little bit more because, well, after episode 5, we kind of enter a sort of weird wilderness period with the show. Like, I remember reviewing things like The Punisher by Greg Rucka, Toxin, Dark Reign, Hawkeye. I just really don't remember much about those things. Not to say that there weren't any bright spots during this period. Episode 7, for example, my Daredevil Born Again review was the first video to really take off. Well, take off in the sense that it hit 100 views. And I think I know why. I did that review in late 2014, early 2015, about a month before a trailer for a certain Netflix series hit. I think the people were just doing a generic Daredevil search on YouTube and got routed to that review. The same sort of thing also happened with my Wolverine Origin review, which picked up around the time the trailer for Logan hit, which is weird because Logan has absolutely nothing to do with Wolverine Origin. Also, my Hulk Masterworks review took off around the time of Age of Ultron. Also, my review for The Pulse, the Jessica Jones comic, picked up when that show hit. In episode 12, I finally managed to cover a DC book with Kevin Smith and Phil Hester's Green Arrow storyline, Quiver. And yeah, I'm still mystified that it took that long to get to a DC book. I thought the random nature of the show would, well, result in a more eclectic mix of reviews. And early on, I was dead wrong. I mean, 10 of the first 12 episodes were Marvel books. It was even more confusing due to the fact that at one point I actually had more DC trades than Marvel ones. I also began to hone my editing skills with learning how to properly crop pictures and panning over them. The latter of which I believe I started doing somewhere around Avengers Under Siege in that review. So that began to help. Not to mention, reviews for things like Robin Year One, the Hulk Masterworks, and the OMAC Project also took off. And then came the House of M review, which is memorable to me not necessarily for the review itself, but for the events that surrounded it. I had just put the finishing touches on editing the video and was about to begin rendering it when Bismarck got hit with a massive thunderstorm that took the power out. It also flooded the basement, downed both an electric and cable power lines, and then it ripped the energy meter off of my house and tossed it out into the middle of the patio, with only a few wires barely connecting it to the domicile. The power to this house was knocked out for a few days, so I had to take all my equipment up to my father's house so I could upload the episode. On top of that, I couldn't clean out any of the debris in my backyard because of the down power lines. The electric company wouldn't fix the power lines because the meter was still ripped off of the house. And I had to get a third-party electrician in order to reattach the meter so that the power company could clean up the power lines and I could finally clean up the branches. I forgot to mention, as this was happening, Bismarck got hit with 2 more thunderstorms, further flooding my basement. I had to live off of peanut butter and graham crackers because that was the only non-perishable food we had in the house. So, I think we're going to end part 2 right there. See you all in part 3. Hey guys, remember, if you like the channel, feel free to support me on Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCatProductions. Also, remember, you can like the video, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember to ring that notification bell.